Hello everyone. In this video, I'll explain how we can solve leetcode problem number 58 in JavaScript. So the difficulty level of this problem is easy. Let's start by reading the question first. Given a string S consisting of words and space, return the length of the last word in the string. A word is a maximal substring consisting of non-space characters only. So what this question is saying is we would be given um, a string that would contain of different words and spaces, and we have to return the length of the last word that we find in this string, and we have to make sure that this last word does not consist of any space. So it should have only characters and not spaces. So let's say if there is two space before the last word uh, or after the last word, we need to consider the word itself and not the uh, space before the last space. So let's take the example. Let's read the example to understand. So the input is hello world. This one is pretty simple. The last word is world, and the number of characters in this one is 5. So the length is 5 and the output is 5. Now let's go to example number 2. In example number 2, you can see that there are multiple spaces before the first word, then there are again multiple spaces in between, and after the last word there is again a space. So here we have to consider the word moon, and we have to return the length of this word. So the length of this word is 4. Similarly, in example number 2, in example number 3, the last word is joy boy, and the number of characters here is 6. So the length is 6. Let's look at the constraints. String dot length would definitely have at least one character. I mean, the length of that string would at least be 1, and it would be less than 10 to the power 4. S consists of only English letters and spaces. So there would only be English letters in the string S and spaces. There will be at least one word in S. So these are the constraints, and keeping these constraints in mind, you have to write the code. Now let's see what approach I have used to solve this problem. I have solved this problem in just 2 lines. What I am doing is, first, to remove all the trailing spaces or all the extra spaces, I am doing s.trim. What s.trim does is, it removes all the extra spaces from the front of the string, from the back of the string, and in between also. If there are like 2-3 spaces, it will remove all the extra spaces and give you a proper sentence. Then I am splitting it by space. So what I have done is, I have chained the split function to s.trim. Whatever we'll get from s.trim would then get splitted into separate elements inside an array, and this will be splitted by the space. So every time they would like the code will encounter a space, it would put the words in as separate elements. Okay, once we get an array of words, or once the words are stored as elements in the array, we are picking the last um, element of that array, basically the last word of that array, by doing at -1. So this at -1, it would give us the last element of the array, and after we get the last element, which is nothing but our last word of that string, I am doing dot length here. So dot length would give us the length of the word that we found after all this calculation, after all this step. Okay, and then the length is stored in len, and then I'm returning the len. You can see all the test cases have passed. I'll run it again, and I'll also submit it once. So yep, it beats 100% of the solution. Thanks for watching.